Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Martha's Vineyard. And this ain't just any Martha's Vineyard. This is the new Martha's Vineyard from Burning Blue Design, who are well known for their fantastic UK airfields, nice attention to detail, the kind of airfields that I love, grass strips, all that kind of thing, lots of GA. And this is their first trip over the pond to the US with Martha's Vineyard, and we're going to take a look at it. This is quite a relaxed little flight. We're going to take a look at Martha's Vineyard, the airport, and then we're going to have a fly around the island and have a look and see what that looks like as well. So many thanks to Burning Blue Design for giving me the opportunity to try Martha's Vineyard Airport, and also they're so kind. They've given you the opportunity of owning one of their airports absolutely free of charge. We're going to give away a key. Now, there's three opportunities, or three people, I should say, that have an opportunity to win this. And the way it's going to work is that at the end of the video, oh yes, you're going to have to watch the whole video, but you'll love it. So win-win. At the end of the video, I will ask you a question relating to something that has I've said, or something that you might have seen in the video. And if you email the correct answer to an email address that I'm going to put in the notes below, and you are one of the first three, then you will get that key code courtesy of Burning Blue Design. What nice chaps they are. If you don't see a message below, then that means that the competition is closed because those three chances have already gone. Okay, so let's talk about what this add-on is actually all about, and rather than me try and make it up, I'm going to read you what Burning Blue Design have said themselves. So the quaint New England island of Martha's Vineyard has been a popular destination for US presidents for the best part of a century, and Martha's Vineyard Airport has been no stranger to seeing Air Force One touch down on a runway over the years. Originally built in 1942 as Naval Auxiliary Air Facility Martha's Vineyard, the airport was primarily used for training thousands of fighter pilots on their initial training before their deployment to aircraft carriers in the Pacific Theatre. After World War II, the airfield was left dormant and put into caretaker status before finally transferring over to Dukes County in 1959 and becoming Martha's Vineyard Airport. Today, the airport has numerous makeovers and now sports a lively general aviation hub and operates a number of charter and commuter flights which ferry people daily to and from the Vineyard to the mainland and other surrounding islands. So what are we actually getting with this package? Over 100 custom 3D objects have been used in Martha's Vineyard Airport, each with full physical based rendering (PBR), allowing for more realistic textures, and all airport buildings have been created using high-resolution photos actually provided by Martha's Vineyard Airport. Over 10,000 carefully placed stock assets have been used across the airport and surrounding area. Every fence, shrub, light and tree has been placed in its correct location, bringing life to Martha's Vineyard Airport and the surrounding area. An assortment of ground workers, passengers and vehicles have been placed around, ensuring an atmosphere of a working airport. High-resolution, colour-corrected ground textures taken from Bing Maps are manipulated for consistency and realism, which far surpasses the quality of the stock Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 ground texture. As with all Burning Blue Design products, new custom working windsocks are being created and accurately placed around the airport. Full night lighting placed across the airport and within and around the hangars and buildings. Correct AI pattern procedures and accurate taxiway and runway placement have been incorporated into the release. Many custom vehicles placed around the airport: the MVY Oshkosh Striker 4x4 airport fire truck, Martha's Vineyard Transit Authority buses, Gulfstream G650 and Bombardier Challenger 350. So that's everything that we're getting in the package. So what's the plan? We are going to take this exceptionally beautiful Silver Spitfire that was used in the Round the World, the longest flight expedition. We're going to take her on a quick trip round the airport, round the island itself, have a look and see what the scenery looks like round here. It's not going to be a massively long flight, just a nice chilled out flight, bit of fun, bit of sightseeing, and then we can see what Martha's Vineyard Airport looks like from the air. Okay, let's get cracking. Rightio, so here we are in the cockpit of our Spitfire. I'm going to keep this short. We're not doing full startup checks and all that sort of thing, because at the end of the day this video is about the scenery. So I've done a certain amount of prep already, so we're just going to get us started. I've already pressurized the tank. Let's see if she starts first time. Beautiful. Can't ask for more than that. T's and P's looking good. Okay, so let's get moving. So we're going to be heading down to take runway 24. Got any AI running, just to keep it simple, but as I mentioned before, they have actually mapped the correct traffic patterns and everything for the AI in this, which is pretty clever. Actually kind of reminds me I should fly with AI a bit more. I sometimes go on to online, so you've got other human pilots around, but I rarely fly with the AI, so it'd be interesting to see what they've done with it here. While we're just taxiing out, I shall knock in some nose down trim. Let's have a quick look, we've not gone too far. Not a bad day for it. There's our geese. That's quite clever how they've done that. Yeah, also, and we won't see it here, but they also produce a shadow on the ground as they go over, which is that is attention to detail. Really good animation on them as well, actually. Here's our G650. This really is the playground of the rich and famous. We look down at our T's and P's, everything is good. I think we're going to come in at this point onto 2-4. Just quick check to see nothing's coming. I'm not expecting anything, but you don't want any nasty surprises. There's our geese again. Geese Spitfires do not mix, so I'm glad they've moved over at this point rather than when we're trying to take off. Well done, chaps. That's good geese planning. Okay, right, let's just have another quick look around. Okay, let's go. back on the power a bit. So I'm going to keep the canopy open just for now, just so we can actually see everything without the canopy textures getting in the way. This would be a very interesting place to see in real life. So you can see there's a fair amount of work gone into putting some structures in over here. Some detail there with the vehicles and everything. Certainly has a good realistic look to it from the air. I think one of the things that Burning Blue Design are good at is creating an atmosphere. You know, I've said it before on other videos, it's especially if you're doing GA flying, it's nice to have really good looking ground scenery, especially airports, and it just heightens the immersion, and this certainly does the job. Interested to know actually if anyone watching this actually flies in and out of Martha's Vineyard Airport for real. What do you think? I can easily imagine coming here in my private jet. Yeah. So let's go and have a look at Martha's Vineyard, the island, because I've actually never flown here, not that I remember. I don't think it was on the Silver Spitfire route. If it was, I don't remember it. And in P3D it certainly wouldn't have looked like this. I have a feeling I flew north of this, more on the mainland. That stands out nicely. So let's see what we've got. Head over to the coast, I think. See what we've got here. Let's zoom in on the old map. We can get a better idea of what we're looking at. Lambert's Cove Inn down there. And over here we have what is called Cedar Tree Neck Sanctuary. Yes, you can easily see why people like coming here, really. I mean, it just seems to have all these rather nice looking beaches. I would imagine that it's a very pleasant place to spend your summer, and all the ex-presidents and celebs that live here or come here in the summer, they know what they're doing. So, interesting trivia, you might already know this, but the film Jaws was filmed here on Martha's Vineyard. and we're coming up here to one of the locations, and I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong. It looks like it's Menemsha Public Beach, but this is one of the areas that Jaws was filmed at. I'm not seeing any sharks down there at the moment, and unfortunately the old Microsoft Flight Sim logic has submerged part of the harbour, which is a tad unfortunate for the townsfolk, especially if there's a shark. That's not a good, you know, if your boat or your harbour is underwater, you're kind of in trouble already if there's a big shark around. But, you know, again with the sim, detail not bad at all. Looks fairly realistic. And then coming up over here is a town called Chilmark. And this was also part of the setting for Jaws. Doesn't really look familiar. So there you go. Another bit of trivia for you. Martha's Vineyard was the last refuge of the heath hen, and believe it or not, the last recorded heath hen on the island was called Booming Ben, and bless him, he passed away in 1932. Something very pleasant about just doing a nice leisurely flight in a Spitfire on a day like today. And quite interesting to fly somewhere I've not flown before, especially with these pretty realistic scenery that we have in 2020. Let's have a quick look at this. This is marked on the map as Katama. It's probably an old disused airfield, but with a little grass strip that's still in use. I should remember to come here in the Kit Fox sometime. Little place. That's the fantastic thing about the simulator, that there's so many little places to explore. You come here like I have to look at the Martha's Vineyard airport, and then you find all these funny little things as well. So let's head over here. Again, I'm going to apologise for any awful pronunciation, but this looks like it's called Chappaquiddick Island. That's Katama Bay. This is East Beach. I wonder if we'll go over there in a second. There should be some lighthouses, but I don't think they're actually modelled in the sim, which is fair enough. You can't have everything. That looks pretty good anyway. Yeah, that's where a lighthouse should be, I guess. Okay, let's head back over, gain a bit of height. Edgar Town down here. I think what's quite handy about this is that you know, Martha's Vineyard as a base, it's quite an interesting place to fly to. It's not a bad place to have a fly around, but it's quite good, you know, if you want to fly from here to New York, you know, that kind of thing, with private jets, GA, you know, you kind of got quite a few options there. Nice little golf course. I'm sure a few presidents have played on there. And then back over to Martha's Vineyard Airport. Keep calling it Martha's Vineyard. We're on Martha's Vineyard, the whole thing. This, of course, is Martha's Vineyard Airport. Let's not forget that. Let's go and say hello. There's our lovely geese. Keep away from them. Oh, and some more. Whole squadrons of them. As we come back down, get on geese watch again. Could actually be a whole new game, couldn't it? There they are. See if we've got any other hidden gems around here. Control tower now would be screaming, what the hell is he doing? Why is he not observing the correct patterns? Be interested to do a night flight here as well and see how that night lighting works. Night lighting works. It looked quite quite good. Quite authentic. Right, time to land. Or are we being too optimistic? The things I find in this flying iron Spitfire is that it takes longer to bleed off speed than it does in the A2A Spit that I'm used to flying, so I have to kind of take that into account a bit more as we come round. We'll pop open the canopy. Take that off a notch so the canopy doesn't come banging forward. Have a look at the speed. Not bad. A little bit far out. Let's drop the gear. Try and do a nice curved approach, a little bit high. Let's bring that down, watching the speed. See, the speed is already creeping up. Get the flap down now, try and reduce some speed a bit. Ideally I want to be 100 over the fence, which we're not. We're coming in at 120, so we need to get rid of some of that speed. There we go. Let's float it a little bit. Thing with the tail dragger is you haven't landed until, there we go, you kind of reach that sweet spot where you know it's not suddenly going to spin around and bite your arm off. There we go. Right, let's get the flappers up. There we go. Temperatures are okay, that's good to see. And here we are back at Martha's Vineyard Airport. It's a cracking place to operate a like a twin out of, something like a King Air. You can imagine having some fun with that. Got some good range on it, some speed. You could go to some nice destinations, and that would be good fun. Right, here we go. Okay, look around, everything is cool. Okay, mags off. There we go, and we need that fuel pump off as well. There we are. Peter, he can go off. I've already got a switch assigned to that. Right. Here is your question. I said that the heath hen expired on this island, the last refuge and the last known heath hen. But what was his name? Bless his heart. So have a look below in the show notes. You'll see a little message with an email address to send the answer to that question to. If you email that, the first 3 people who send it through will win the prize. If you send the email and you don't get a response, then that's because, unfortunately, you've been unsuccessful, and 3 people have got there first of all. I don't want to be rude, but I'm not going to be able to reply to every single email that gets through. But what I would say is, before you do anything, before you send an email, obviously check below for the message. And if there's no message there, again, it means that the competition has expired. Those 3 are probably going to go pretty quickly, and I'm going to remove the message once those 3 have gone, to avoid any confusion. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed Martha's Vineyard Airport from Burning Blue Design. Thanks again to them for giving me the opportunity to fly it, and also for giving us the 3 opportunities or the 3 chances for 3 people to own one of their fantastic airports. And as the geese wave bye-bye, we end our flight. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again on the channel soon. And don't forget, have a look below. We've got a Discord now if you want to pop along and say hi over there. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.